really, really happy with the performance today in some regards and disappointed in others. I mean, that's the way this goes, right? One of the things I'll say that I was really pleased with going into this game without Jace Henry, we're down arguably one of our best offensive players through our first 4 games, and our leading tackler, Drew Watts, who was out with an injury today, and for us to be able to come out and have other guys rise to the occasion, I thought that was kind of cool, to see Austin Hartnell step in at linebacker and see Kai Woods get touches and Chris Smalley working on slice blocks and Andrew Savaianaya doing the same thing. And so, guys got their opportunities, and some of those guys maximized those opportunities, which was really cool to see. I thought our offensive line did a good job. Brian always does a good job of finding the runs. Early on, it was, all right, let's test the middle. They're pretty stout inside. They've got some big guys in the middle of their defense, and the perimeter runs were really good to us today. I can't say enough about Drew. I thought he really about B. He really did a great job taking what was available. I mean, on the stat sheet, he's going to have a pick, but that was on a Hail Mary at the end of the half. And that was probably one of the more frustrating things, that we weren't able to get points out of that when we managed the clock well, used our timeouts, got off the field on defense, got the explosive punt return to set up a short field, and that was kind of frustrating. The penalties continue to be an issue. And, some of this is, I'm explaining these, act like you've been there before. And then I have to remind myself, they haven't. They haven't. They don't know how to handle success. And we've got to learn how to handle success in a way that represents this university and our program the right way. But, hey, that's a good win for us. So happy to take any questions.
Running backs accounted for 5 touchdowns between Savion Red and Patrick Garlow. Just
7, but we had to call a couple back.
Yeah.
So.
Just walk me through just their game and the explosiveness they brought to them.
Well, I would say this. One of the things that I will say about Eastern is they did not leverage the perimeter of the defense well in the run game. And even when plays would break down, there was not going to be if you just take a mental picture, if you stop the frame before the play is run, they don't have bodies out there, and so that makes those access runs available. And then you got to break a tackle, or you got to make somebody miss in space, and we were able to do that. And clearly we're playing down a level of competition, they're playing up a level of competition, and I get that. But by the same token, the same thing happened here against Idaho last year, and the result was a little bit different. And so I think the run game was what it was. I mean, we have good runners, and like I said, they lacked some leverage on the perimeter, and we took advantage of that.
Down with an injury, just guys stepping up. You had Chris Smalley kind of flip positions. He kind of was in there for a few plays, run blocking just out. Yeah, just kind of talk about him and switching those positions and the challenge of it.
Well, he likes contact, and we're going to put him at the point of contact, and he did a really good job of that. And he was physical, especially on some short yardage runs. He's hugging the tail and stealing second base and knocking the heck out of the guy that's on the end of the line of scrimmage, and that's what we were asking him to do. It wasn't complicated. There wasn't a lot of scheme involved. It was, you get this guy, and he did. And he's a tough, smart kid. I mean, one of the things that I want to make sure we do in this program is value the things that we say we value. Guys that work really hard, guys that have a passion for this university and this program, guys that are accountable. And Chris is one of those guys. And so for us to be able to say, hey, we're not getting a lot of reps for you on defense, but here's a way that you can help the team, I think that helps our program.
On this game, both on special teams and on offense, just walk us through just what he did today.
He practices really hard. That's the number one thing I'd say about Marcus. Like the guy every day in practice, it's like a game to him. And so it doesn't surprise me when he makes plays in games, because he prepares himself the right way. And he's a mature kid. He's been around the block. Again, another guy who kind of represents the things that we want this program to be about, tough and gritty, maybe overlooked, whatever, but a local kid that this place means something to him. And when he goes out to practice on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, you get the same thing that you're going to get on Saturday. And I think some of our other guys need to pay attention to that and practice the way he does, because the result is you're going to be really productive on Saturday if you do that.
Watching for the press box, there was a lot of broken tackles today. What kind of luxury is it to have players that get those 5, 10, extra 15 yards after contact?
Well, we knew we were going to have an advantage if we got in space with these guys. And I actually thought we should have run through a couple more. So that's their job. If there's one guy there, you make him miss or you make him pay. And, Patrick Garwo is going to be the guy that runs him over, makes him pay. Everybody else should try to make him miss and go score. And so that's what they did.
Had some struggles last week against Minnesota Sprint. How do you think they bounced back this week?
Well, I think that, there was a front that was a better matchup for us. We were able to establish the ground game, which takes a lot of pressure off of them, even though we ended up, what did we convert, a 3rd and 30-something? But it was on a run, right? So we didn't ask those guys to hold up in protection as much as we did against maybe a better front than what we saw today. And for the, I think that's coaching too. We have to bear responsibility for that. And there was some sloppiness in this game. I wasn't happy with everything the way it went down. And as a staff, we had some lack of focus maybe that, I've got to use 3 timeouts in like inconsequential situations because we don't have the right personnel out there or whatever. And so, there's always going to be some frustration there.
It's had a crisp game, coming back from that Minnesota game. Just walk us through his play.
Well, I don't mean to cut you off, but I think you need to keep this Minnesota thing in perspective here. Right? I think watch where they rank in total defense at the end of the year. That's what I would pay attention to, rather than continuing to pile on Brendan Lewis in a situation that was not a competitive, balanced situation. And so, we got his back, and that's who he is in practice every day. Another guy that prepares the right way every day and knows where he's going with the ball. There was a play late in the game where we had a go route to Smitty down the sideline, down our sideline, and the coverage look immediately. The second we called it, I knew they were going to play cover 2 to that side. They rolled coverage there. He took one look, came right back and threw the ball on the dig route to Marcus. Like, that's preparation. Like, he knew that's the look I'm not throwing. I'm going right here with it. So getting through his progression, and I thought he had a really good day, and that's what I expect from him. And so I think he's a good player, man. I think he is, and he can win games for us here. We're going to have our hands full. We need this bye. This is the right time for us to get a bye. We're a little beat up. Had some offensive linemen get nicked up today. Hopefully nothing long term. Hopefully we get Drew back quickly. But, San Jose State's going to be a tough out for us, to go down there on the road. And they're playing really good football. And I'm excited to get into Mountain West Conference play. The preseason is officially over. And we're excited to get to a bye, get out, do some recruiting, come back and hone in on fundamentals and kind of almost have some fall camp type of practices and get ready for the Mountain West Conference play.
Summarize where this team is at through 5 games in the end of the non-conference?
Probably about where I would have guessed they would be. I mean, at the end of the day, I probably would have flipped the Troy win and the Georgia Southern win. Loss. If you're looking at, the odds makers would have had us there, right? No, they wouldn't have. Maybe they would have had us losing 4 of those. I don't know. But I think that's kind of, best case scenario. I thought, hey, maybe we can pull a rabbit out of our hat and find a way to win 3 of those. But this is probably realistically where we are. And now we got to find a way to go win 4 or 5 more so that we can play in the postseason.
Encouraging was today's performance given what happened last week?
Yeah, I think, again, I'm gonna correct you on that. I think let's keep last week in perspective here. All right? You want to compare budgets between Minnesota and Nevada, I'm happy to do that, and we can talk about who should win that game. Our guys went out there. They played hard on defense. We were overmatched on the offensive line. We didn't do a good enough job as coaches, and so let's forget about that and move on. We're playing San Jose State in 2 weeks. We got to bye.
It's not often you convert on 3rd and 30 with a running back, but Savion did just that. How do you describe what he brings?
Okay, they were playing what we call radar defense, where all the defense is on 2-point stances. And so at the end of the day, like, hand the ball off and good thing, it becomes a kickoff return at that point, right? And so they're not leveraged for that. They're assuming that we're going to throw the ball. They're sagging their defensive backs way back there. And once you get a guy like Savion in space, good things are going to happen.
About a lot of learning lessons along the way in each of these non-conference games. Just how do you take the penalties that happened today and you guys learn from those as you head now?
Yeah, like the bonehead, and candidly, I'm not sure if that's warranted. I mean, we're celebrating with our fans. We're not taunting the opponent or whatever, but that's the rule. So hey, we got to learn from that. Like when we get an interception, hand the ball to the official and come to the sideline so our offense can go play and not on a long field, right? That's the example there. Right? Because there's 4 guys that got UAS penalties on that all, if they got their second one, they would have been ejected from the game. So that's stupid, right? So a lot of guys are going to be doing 500 push-ups tomorrow, and that's just the way it's going to be. And until we figure this out, we're going to continue to hurt ourselves. Now, hey, I can't control whether they're going to call a hold on a touchdown on the perimeter. A guy gets a hand up in the face, and that's part of football. And, those guys got to throw the flags, and we got to go operate. But we got to just continue to play with better discipline.
Coming at a good time, just how much confidence does this give now as you have 2 weeks to prepare for San Jose State?
Yeah, I think this game will be irrelevant when we play San Jose State. But we got to celebrate all wins, so we will.
Coach?
I'm going recruiting on Sunday and Monday, and then be here to practice Tuesday, Wednesday. We got some team building stuff we're doing on Thursday. Try to relax a little bit on Friday, and then start preparing.
Going forward here, but if you guys go to some extended playing time, is there anything specific you'd like from them on those final couple plays?
AJ's a smart, tough player, and he's obviously taken snaps here in the past. And whenever he's prepared, like he's a really detailed guy. Might be like I think he ought to go into coaching. Like he's a sharp kid and knows exactly where to go with the ball, makes good decisions, operates the offense at a really high level.
Do you expect Drew and Jace to be back in a couple weeks?
Drew, I'm hopeful he'll be back sooner than later. I think that we've got to get an MRI. There was something going on that we just want to make sure there's not more to it. And then in Jace's case, he'll be out a little bit more long term.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Coach.
Okay.
Mood in the locker room, following the win.
Oh, for sure. First, I'd like to thank God. Give God all the glory. Wouldn't be here without him. The energy in the locker room was great. You know, we haven't felt that since we went to Troy. We've been walking off the field with some stuff we wish we could get back, but the feeling there now is like something that we wish to have repeatedly. So we're gonna enjoy it tonight and get back to work when it's time to get back to work.
Michael, a really solid performance from the defense. Just walk us through your interception in the first quarter.
I want to thank Coach Ione for getting me into that play call, and Coach Thomas. Our practice we worked the slant and go sluggo, so just trusted my technique, and it just came to me.
The offense, just walk us through your guys' performance today and just generating those explosives.
Yeah, we prided ourselves this weekend turning the short runs and throws into big ones, and as you see, Savion, Pat, Marcus, who had a great game today, and just a lot of our other guys too, young guys getting in and getting opportunities, and myself included, we just put a big emphasis on playmakers arriving and making big plays. So it's like something that we've been working on all week. Regardless if we catch a screen, we finish 10 extra yards just cause like practice habits turn into game habits. So that's all we got to say about that.
From going from a week where you scored 0 points to putting up 49 points, how's that feel?
It feels great. I mean, we knew we had to look ourselves in the mirror and deal with that loss, and it sucks that we had to deal with it for 7 days before we could go out there again, but it fueled us really. We didn't look at it as like, oh man, we didn't let that game beat us twice. So I think it was a good thing that we did the reset that we did, and we came to practice every day of the week with the intensity we did in order to have this result we have today.
Early goal line stand against Eastern Washington. Just walk us through that series and what it meant for your defense.
I just needed to step up and make that play for the team because we worked that play in practice too, and they were scoring on it in practice, scout team. So when I seen that formation, I knew I had to do what I got to do to help the team out, and I'm just thankful for my teammates that helped me out on that play too, because we was had good effort and ran to the ball.
This going into the bye week and eventually against San Jose State.
I feel like it's a great thing to build off of. Like for the secondary, we gave up like corner, we gave up a lot of explosive plays. So like to come in and correct my eye control and not jumping routes, it's a great thing because I'm glad we had it happen now. So when San Jose or conference come, it won't be a problem.
And this is for you or Jaden. Just guys stepping up. Some guys went down. What kind of mentality is there that like guys can step up and you guys still have this type of performance?
Next man up mentality, you know, just how we breed it here. It's like somebody go down, you got to step up. I've been in that situation before as a younger guy and as somebody who went down. And the mentality under Choate is always next man up. So you just got to be ready for your opportunity, and guys bust their tails every day in practice, so they're just waiting for a moment. God forbid it's like an injury or something like that, but they're just waiting for their time to get on the turf and show what they can do.
James, can you speak to the development of Marcus Bellin?
Marcus came in a dog. Like, I didn't know him before he came here. I just knew him when he walked in the receiver room one day, like, what's up, I'm Marcus. And next thing I know, he making plays throughout fall camp, and come to SMU, he making plays there, making plays in Troy. Everywhere we go, you make plays. Playmakers arrive, and he's definitely one of our best players, no doubt. It's my dog.
Tough to guard, Marcus.
I haven't faced Marcus a lot, but we'll be a great challenge for each other. I face Smitty and Tez all the time, so I really don't see Marcus a lot. Yeah.
What's going on between Savion and Patrick to see who get the most touchdowns today? What was the vibes in the running back, room, so to speak?
That's good. It's good competitiveness. Like, nobody get too down or get too mad or nothing like that because somebody's outshining the other. They just both go out there and do their things. When you got two good backs like that, that's a good problem to have. So I just think, yeah, that's a great competition to have. That's all I can really say about that. Who scores the most touchdowns? At the end of the day, it's a self-victory for them, but it's a team victory for us because we getting points on the board.
Brendan Lewis bouncing back this week. Just tell us about your confidence in him and going into this Mountain West stretch.
Yeah, I trust B-Lou a lot. Just the way he prepares, like seeing it. Sometimes he prepares so much, I feel like I'm unprepared just because of how even up into the game, he's looking at the play calls and making sure he knows what the O-linemen are doing, what we're doing when there's three receivers out there on the field, tight ends, running backs, Dan himself, his reads and everything. So when a guy puts that much preparation into it, I mean, it kind of makes it easy to trust in him. And I know the media gives him a lot of crap for like losing games and stuff, and that's what comes with the territory being the quarterback for University of Nevada. But I think he handles it well. Like he looks himself in the mirror, deals with what he has to deal with, and he doesn't let the outside noise get to him. So he bounces back well, and as you can see, he's a great player.
Personally, how did it feel for you to catch that touchdown?
First touchdown of the year, it felt great to be honest. I had to thank God because I was starting to scratch my neck a little bit because I hadn't gotten the end zone since Troy, and that was a 2-point conversion. So it felt great. Thank God for that.
You went over to your cousin Charles after. Just how cool of a moment was that for you?
That was great. I think that's the first time I've scored a touchdown on his team. So that was a great moment for us to have. I hope they got a video or something of that. I know our parents would love that and the family would love it too. So that was just a great feeling. Unless you could be out there and feel that for yourself, it's hard to explain, but it's a lot of joy.
Mentioned the penalties and just how important will it be for you guys to continue to try and limit those as you get into Mountain West play?
Being disciplined in practice. It starts by practice, cause we undisciplined in practice too. So in the game come and that's where it shows up. But it starts small things, like sometimes maybe the small thing get your ankles taped and you don't get your ankles taped, and somehow it just show up on the field. So it just start with the small things. We do the small things right, then the penalties take care of itself.
How are you guys feeling 5 games in at the end of the non-conference?
We headed in the right direction. We know we got to go on the run right now. We knew it would start today, and we knew we had to get done. And thank God we went out there and did it. So now, like I said, we celebrate this victory and get back to work tomorrow and prepare for our next opponent. Get some soldiers back on the bye week too. That's huge for us. Ending conference play or ending regular season play before conference and getting a bye week. That's definitely huge.
To have back.
I expect Tyson to come back. He suffered an injury, and we expect to get him back. And just stuff that we don't really let a lot of people know that people are dealing with, like personal adversity. So we'll have a lot of people more healthy, I should say, than they are at the moment.
Your touchdown. I don't think I've seen someone smile as big as you did. What was behind that smile? Because obviously it's been a long road to get here.
Just thankful to be there. I mean, God blessed me with an opportunity, and I made the most of it. And I was, like I said, I was scratching my neck to get a touchdown, and finally got the opportunity. My coaches told me to go to this spot and put me in a position to make a play. So I want to thank JP, Coach Price, for putting me out there. And I kind of had like a debate with him. I was like, "You sure you want me to go to this side?" Like he was like, "Just let me coach." I was like, "Yes, sir." And thank God I did, and thank God he said that because it resulted in a good result for us.
First time you guys win here at Mackey, how does it feel? How did it feel just winning in front of the Wolfpack fans?
It felt great. People from the community come out and support us, so it felt great to put on the show and get a win for them, give the fans confidence and everything to show that we're not the same Nevada from last year. So it's great. It's great to get a win.
Any more questions? Both of you guys are still going to be putting in work over the bye week, but what are some of the things that you guys are doing to kind of give yourself that mental break from football over the bye week?
I'd say probably start with tonight, team bonding. Bond tonight. Sometimes you just got to stop thinking about football sometimes because we student athletes, so sometimes we just hang out, don't think about football. But when it's time, then we'll most definitely watch film and everything.
Yeah, get away from football, but don't get away from it too much that you lose sight of everything that's going on. I mean, yeah, we'll still prepare and get ready for our opponent because we take no opponent lightly, but also get our bodies some time away from the game, get our minds some time away from the game, and come back stronger than we were in the preseason.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.